was like, where's the button? Hello, everybody. Thank you guys all for being here on the live or on the playback, joined by Maddie from Maddie's Bookish Life. We will be talking today about a funny story by Emily Henry. Oh my gosh. Okay. How did you feel about this one?
It was 5 stars for me. Like, I honestly loved it. I think it was one of my favorites. Like, I'd have to reread Beach Read to see like how it compared, but there's a potential that I like this one a little bit more. And I think the reason I did is I just feel like there was a lot like going on. Just like with all the characters and just like the setting, and I don't know, I just really liked where like Daphne worked, and I thought the like side characters were really interesting, and then Miles was just so sweet, and I feel like he really stood out. Like he was, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I agree. I thought this was so good. It was 5 stars for me as well.
It was? Okay.
Yes, I was reading it and I was telling my fiance, I was like, this is my favorite book of all time. Like,
it's so good.
Is in my top favorite. I just literally hit myself in the face. But I thought that I only read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry.
Okay.
So I don't know how her other books compare, but when I was hearing the reviews talking about how this was boring, I was like, boring where? What, do you guys not read literature? Like, I'm confused. Or maybe her other books are not like this one.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like she definitely has like I feel like her writing across all the different stories is very much her. Like you can feel her as a writer, as an author through each of the books. And I feel like there's some things for me personally where I feel like I can see, I mean, her characters are vastly different. And I think she does a good job of like making them individual per story. But I definitely feel like her character is in there, not like as an author, but just as like a writer. But I do feel like this one just stood out because I feel like it had a little bit of all the gems from all of her stories, like her strengths as an author, like with her character development, the storyline, all the things that are going on in the like in their lives, but also keeping it fun and fresh. But also there's so much meaning behind it. And like for me, one of the things that I loved about this was like the way Daphne really grew into herself through this experience, and talking about like how tough experiences can honestly lead you to the biggest amount of growth, I felt like. And that's what I loved. And I love that like Miles and Daphne both like let each other grow and be themselves while also like dealing with everything that they were going through.
Yes, I agree with that as well. I love how it was more focused on like Daphne's character development, and it was also focused in the romance. I don't know, I feel like it was very balanced.
Yes.
As to the romance and everything. So I know.
I wanted to get more in Miles's head though. Like I wish we could have gotten his perspective. I think she did it. I think it was super well done and we didn't need it, but I wanted it.
Yeah. Let's say hey real quick. Hey, Maddie, other Maddie. Oh my gosh,
Maddie.
And Maddie says it was a 5 stars from me too. Yes. Beach Read is my other fave. Wait, other fave? Is this a fave?
Beach Read is so good. You have to read Beach Read. I think you would love it.
Yeah, I own it, and I've been meaning to read it for years. I don't know why I haven't read it yet.
Step on it before summer's over.
I know. I need to get on that, like, immediately.
Yeah, I think, what was the other thing I was going to say? I feel like the way people were describing this book, kind of what you were saying earlier, I think I was shocked how much I loved it because of the way that it was being described felt so different from my experience in reading it. I don't know, especially the way Miles was talked about. I was like, oh. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, that's like not what I'm getting from the way people are describing it. So I don't know. I don't know if you felt the same, but
Yeah. Yeah. Because what I was hearing a lot of was, oh, this is boring. Like, nothing is happening. But I was not bored at all, from
Yeah.
what I can remember.
I feel like people were describing Miles like really negatively. Like they were just like he's like kind of like hobo-ish or like I don't know. And I'm just like he just seems chill and happy like as a person, like not obviously what he was going through and obviously
Right.
not like the trauma he was dealing with, but he was very much just himself. And he was a sweetheart and he was like a strong character. And I feel like the way he's described was just like this scruffy bum. And I heard people say that too, and I was like, oh, like what does that mean? But he just seemed, honestly, he seemed like an Oregonian.
Like from Oregon?
Uh-huh. Yeah. He
Oh,
just seemed like that's like the vibe I was getting. Just
to me, he just seemed like just like a chill hippie man. Like he was chilling. I liked him.
exactly an Oregonian. Especially from Ashland.
See, I don't know about that all the way over there.
Yeah. I feel like if
Oh yeah.
anybody's been to Ashland, you'll know what I'm talking about because it's just very much like that vibe is there, but put it like by the sea.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I thought he was like really like sweet and everything and nice, like trying to convince her to. Sorry, I got distracted by my own thoughts. Okay. What yeah, Miles. Okay. So how he in the description or the summary, what is it called? I guess it's
Synopsis?
synopsis period. He is described as the opposite of practical button up Daphne, which I like that balance because I feel like she needed some of that chill in her life because she was very much like she stuck to a routine with Peter, which she didn't really. I feel like she fell into that from what I can remember. Like she didn't really want to be there, right?
Yeah,
Around.
I feel like he kind of like was pushing her into where he wanted her to be. And because she wanted that stability, because she didn't get that, I think she kind of just fell into that comfort zone of having that and not having to make those decisions. And I think Miles was like a good balance because he brought her out of her shell. Like she had like closed off so much, but he did it in like a way that wasn't pushy. Like he wanted her to be comfortable while she did it, but also get to slowly explore who she really was as a person. So I don't think like she grew because of Miles, but I think she grew like with him. Like they both kind of grew together because he also grew a lot through that experience.
Yeah, agreed. Because not because, but I do
Yes.
really like that about this book. It's just my go-to because I feel like I always have to explain myself, I guess. Um, so okay, so let's chat about the side characters.
Oh yeah.
I loved. Oh my gosh, I keep thinking that her name is either Ansley or Ashlyn. Never Ashley. Never Ashley. Does that come to mind? So Ashley, I freaking loved her. And this paragraph that I tabbed. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that I love the X-Files. I'm obsessed. She named her son Mulder after hello Mulder from the X-Files. Oh my god. And that's how I knew that this book was going to be 5 stars to me. Literally page 22, Ashley was saying how and Ashley is the coworker of Daphne at the library. She was saying how she has to go pick Mulder up, and then it says, yes, her son is named after David Duchovny's character from the X-Files. I was like, this book is literally in my brain, literally in my brain. And then there was also a part that they mentioned Golden Girls, like they name dropped it. I was just like, she wrote this for me.
I know she did name drop like a lot of good things throughout the book, which was really fun to follow and made it feel like more real and made them feel more real, I feel like. And then yeah, I really liked Ashley. I really liked that she was a mom too, which I thought was really nice because I feel like you never see like mom or dad characters very often. And it wasn't like everything that she was. They didn't just say, oh, like, this is her, and because she's a mom, this is all she is, and didn't focus on that, but they focused on her as like a person. And I feel like she didn't fully feel like a side character. She felt really well developed, which I really liked. And same with Julia.
Yes, yes. But yeah, I agree with you on that about how also they didn't make being a mom Ashley's whole personality, because I feel like a lot of the times in books when there is like a side character who's a mom, like there's like more focus on like that aspect of her personality. But we got to see Ashley like hanging out and like chilling with Daphne and them and like doing things, and she had her whole like personality, her own self. Like she was spicy. And
Loved it.
we didn't really hear much about Mulder, the child. We didn't really hear much about him, just like, oh, like she needed to go pick him up or like something like that. But
Yeah. They made it like a part of her routine and like made it realistic, like, oh, she needs to do this, this, and that, but it wasn't her like whole identity, which I just think is needs to be done more often, because moms just get boxed, or dads too, just get boxed in general, of like, oh, because of this, then you must be this, or you must do this, or you're not able to do that, when that's not necessarily true. You're still like a full person. Mm-hmm.
preach. But yeah, Julia too. I really like Julia as well.
She
All
was
the characters.
spicy though.
Yeah, she was. She was so funny to me. How she just showed up and was like, "Hey, I'm staying," or whatever. I was like, "No, get out of my house!" But I still liked her anyway. I just thought that was so funny of her. And then the reason why she did, oh my god.
I feel like both of them really, like Ashley and Julia, just like lit up the story too, because they just brought so much life to the story and so much perspective. And I don't know, I feel like they made Daphne and Miles stronger too as like people. And yeah, they also brought them out of their comfort zones.
Also, sorry if you guys have made it this far into the stream. This is going to be full spoilers. I don't think I've said that. I'll also pin a comment after this is over. It's fine. It's fine. I'll pin the comment. So just make sure that you guys are looking there and seeing that this is a full spoiler video before watching. Anyways.
You're like, too late. Now that the book is entirely spoiled, guess what?
Yeah. I mean, well, we just talked about the characters pretty much, not like the plot yet. So it's not fully spoiled, I guess, but we can get into some plot. Yeah, so the plot. If you guys are not aware, hopefully you are, because you made it after I said everything that I'm about to say is going to be a spoiler. So, funny story. Daphne was previously engaged to Peter. Miles was previously seeing Petra. Peter and Petra were bestie boos since like forever ago. And he goes off to his little bachelor party or whatever. And things kind of happen between Peter and Petra that have not happened before. And then he breaks up with Daphne. Daphne moves in with Miles. So they're both newly single and they're roomies now. So yeah. Can we talk about the moment that they got invited to the wedding?
Oh my god, Peter and Petra have some audacity. Like, he's such a slime ball. I hated Peter.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was so funny to me. I was like, not them being invited. Literally, yeah, I would go. I would go to the wedding.
Like, hey. Well, they didn't even get married, so.
No. Oh
as it should be. They should not have had their moment. Although, they were made for each other in that way. Like,
they literally were.
What they did was so disgusting. And I feel like Petra, though, was just, she was very watered down. Like, I feel like we didn't really get to know her at all. I feel like Peter was a little bit more fleshed out. Like That's why I said, like, I really didn't like Peter. I feel like I didn't even know Petra. Like, I didn't like what she did, but you didn't really learn anything about her throughout the story, I feel like. I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like because Peter showed up a few times, we got to see how bad he was too.
Oh, we didn't get to. Well, I guess we did get to see Petra in like one scene, but not like fully
Yeah,
her.
and Peter was still running the show in that scene too.
Literally, so annoying.
He was so full of himself.
I feel like even though, well, me personally, because I guess I know people like Petra, I feel like I know exactly who she is, even if I haven't like got to like read about her, like see her in the story, because
Oh, for sure.
she's just like, I feel like she's one of those people who everyone likes, but there's also something off about her. And if you like are sensing that, you get it, you know?
Yeah, and it definitely has to come from like I feel like some deep rooted insecurity from her as well, and just like not really knowing herself and not being able to connect with who she is as a person. And even though Daphne and Miles did struggle with that, I feel like because of what they've been through, like it made them stronger and better people. And they wanted to do well. They didn't quite know how, but then as they started to learn about themselves and connect more with themselves, they really blossomed. Whereas, like, I feel like a Petra just is completely disconnected from herself and is not trying to figure that out in the same way. Or maybe she is, but just isn't able to.
And maybe that is why she's always trying to take her partner on them trips, them random trips, and trying to find herself. I could totally see that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else? I'm like trying this. Okay, so the setting for this book as well.
Gorgeous.
Yes, I felt like the one part where I don't remember when it was. I think it was early on, maybe in like the first half, when Daphne and Miles, and I think the friends were there, I don't remember, were in the bar. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then I felt like I could literally see them sitting there in the bar, Crimson and Clover playing in the background, smoky, like smoke in the air. I literally could see that. And I don't know, so wow.
Yeah, she does
Maybe,
an amazing job of creating an atmosphere.
yeah, I need to read more Emily Henry because I
You
was like,
do.
this, I fear I'm too obsessed with it.
Yeah, I definitely think, she is loved for a reason. Her writing is phenomenal. Um, and I like how well developed her characters are. Like I said, they feel really real, and I feel like a lot of their issues, um, I don't know, they just make you think and reflect, even if you're not like that, or if, like you said, you can see somebody that you at least know who has those traits, and like it makes you reflect and think about different people and life itself, and I really like that. I definitely don't think that she should be classified as romance. I definitely think her books are more literary fiction, for sure.
Mm, I could see that. I wish I had more of an opinion on that. Maybe I should have just binged all of her books before this live. Next time for sure.
Yeah, the only one I need to read is People We Meet on Vacation. I still need to read that.
That's the only one that I have read.
How'd you feel about that one?
I barely remember it. I remember liking it at the time, but over time, I was like, did I like this actually? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to reread it.
Yeah, you should, because I need to talk to somebody about it. I feel like I'm gonna like it. I know it's the most controversial one, but I feel like I'm gonna like it just because I like her as an author, and so I feel like there'll still be stuff that I enjoy.
Agreed.
But I don't know.
Have you read all of her other ones?
Yeah.
Right. You literally just said that. What else? The parents.
Oh, the
Yeah.
dad, Starfire.
Oh my god. I was like, I know they're not serious right now. I love that.
I kind of like Starfire though. Like I didn't like
Yeah.
what she did at the end, but like I did. She was fun.
Yeah, I liked her, but it seemed like she very much fit with the dad, but like, oh my gosh, I cannot articulate my thoughts right now. Like, I liked who she was as a person. Didn't like that she was with the dad because I did not like the dad like that. And also, but also they didn't really know. Oh, sorry, that was my phone. Not the vet. um, well, my train just went off the tracks. I don't even know what I was gonna say at all. But yeah, I did like Starfire. I thought she was slay. I wish that she was Daphne's dad instead of Daphne's dad.
Yeah, I wish she had like pushed Daphne's dad to be a little bit better. Like I see
Right.
why she didn't do that, but I feel like Starfire reminds me of, have you ever watched the Teenage Life of the American Teenage, I'm totally twisting that name, but the,
Oh,
you know
I
what
know
I'm
the show
talking
that
about?
you're talking about. Yeah, but I
Yeah, it
haven't.
reminds me of like her boyfriend Ben, I believe's like dad's girlfriend. That's what Starfire reminds me of, but like not as cool as that mom. But I feel like she could have been, and like she reminded me of that mom, and I feel like she could have really pushed him to be better, because like in that show that mom really pushes the dad and everyone around her to be better, and she's just kind of, yeah, she's pretty cool, but I don't know why. That just reminded me of.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, though, I wish that she would have pushed the dad to be more like involved, or at least told Daphne, "Hello, like we're peacing out," because I don't know. I so feel Daphne in that moment with that relationship. I so feel for her because she was like, okay, I know exactly who this man is, and I'm not going to get my hopes up. But of course, she gets her hopes up again and is disappointed. And that's so real.
Yeah, it's so sad too. But I think like that's why she did it, like you said, because it's real and it happens sadly to too many people. And I think it's a good way to show like that bond and that love that you have for your parents, even when they let you down.
Yes, exactly. And I cannot remember if we were able to see uh Daphne's mom. I know that we like were able to talk on the phone with her, but um I can't remember if we like saw her. But I still liked her. Like I could visualize exactly the mom that she was.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else. Getting to chat about this book. I wish I read this book more recently. Also, how
Right.
long did it take you to read it? Because it took me forever, and I
I
still
think
liked it.
I think it was like I think I had started it and then I put it down for a couple days and I picked it back up and then binged the rest of it. Yeah, so I think I like literally got like 30 pages in and then just set it down and then picked it back up and read the rest in like one sitting. But yeah, I couldn't put it down.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I guess I could because it took me like
Like I
three
could because I
weeks.
did.
Yeah, it took me forever. I was always thinking about it when I was not reading it, but it just took me so long. I started off, I think I read like 50 pages maybe, and then I would just read it every now and then before bed and then immediately fall asleep after one chapter. And And then I switched to the audio and finished it after finished like the last fourth of it. So yeah, I don't know. It took me forever to read it.
I
But
know,
I'm
I
glad.
wish I'd read it closer to the end of the month too. But I still feel like I do remember like a good amount of it.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about it.
Yes, I already want to reread it and like annotate it and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I didn't annotate it because I just didn't want to like set it down to annotate it. And I kind of wanted to go back and do it when I could like really think about the scenes that I truly love and like want to revisit. And I just love so many of like the library scenes. That was such
Yeah.
a cool setting. And watching Miles light up when she lit up from reading to the kids was so cute. Literally obsessed.
And I love how they kept talking about how she does all the voices because that's how you know story time was lit, because when your librarian or whatever would do all the voices.
Yep. And it was just so cute how he found like everything that she did. Like he really just was in tune with her and paying attention to what she loved and what she was doing and all of her little mannerisms. And I think that was really cool too, because you could just see how much he cared for her just like as a person. And honestly, Daphne too, with Miles, she was very in tune with him and what was going on. But I definitely think Miles at first was a little bit more open to being invested in it, even though he seemed like he wasn't the one. I think he was kind of feeling her out and wanting her to be comfortable is the vibe I was getting, and wanting to make sure he wasn't like ruining anything because he cared about who she was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also something that I kind of like didn't think I was gonna like at first. I was hesitant to like this was when she was like thinking about leaving town, and then he was like, "No, but you should stay." And I'm like, "You literally knew her for like not that long, and you're asking her to stay." But I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna trust the process because." Once he started like taking her out and like doing these things, and then it really opened her eyes as to who Miles was as a person, seeing him interact with other people and just like everything. And when she started liking the town and then deciding what she wanted to do from there, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm glad that I trusted and wasn't like immediately like, don't tell her what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like though some people just really do have that like connection right off the bat and just have that really strong relationship really quickly. I do think that is because I know some people will be like, that's not realistic, but I do think it happens all the time in real life. And I know for like the story and the buildup and everything, it can be like a preference to kind of have things wait. But I also do think like in real life, like you have sometimes connections with people pretty instantly, and you can spend more time with them in 5 months than you might with somebody else for 2 years. I mean, it really depends on your type of relationship because they're living with each other. They're spending more time than like, let's say, couples who live separately. Maybe it's a shorter time, but they're spending like way more time together and they're getting to be around each other more and know each other's like patterns and habits. And so I feel like that like builds a stronger connection faster also.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just like Big Brother, how they are living in the house. It's not just like that at all, but it's in a way it's similar. How they get to know each other more with that. Oh my gosh, I really wanted to mention something else, but I cannot think of it. Okay, so you, T, since you read most of her books, how would you rank them?
Ooh. Mm, that's hard. Because I liked it. I don't really think I have a favorite. Like I said, this one maybe, but I think I like them all for different reasons.
Mm.
I don't really think I have like a favorite out of all of them. I think I just like them all for different reasons. Like, um, I feel like with book lovers, I just really liked some of the conversations that were in that, like the way that they went off to the small town. I don't know if you know the synopsis of any of these, but I really like those characters because they were a little bit more out there, I guess. They were very strong personalities. And so I read that one a long time ago, so I'm trying to remember. And then Beach Read, I really like the setting and the like side characters surrounding the main characters. I really like that they were helping each other write the stories. With Happy Place, I feel like that one was definitely more bittersweet and angsty.
Mm.
And with Funny Story, I think for me it was the setting and the side characters, but there was just I really enjoyed Miles especially. Like I like Daphne too, but I really enjoyed Miles's character, and I just thought he was one of the sweetest characters out of all of her characters, and I think he stood out to me. So I think that's why I liked him. So that's what I would say. I don't think I have like a favorite. I know that's annoying.
Mm. Okay. No, I mean, it's your truth. Yeah. I think that I'm most excited to read Beach Read because it's other Maddie's favorite. You just talked about it. So, like you
You know,
talked
Beach
about
Read was
it.
amazing.
Yeah. I need to read that one first, I think. Or I guess next, not first. But yeah, I'm also excited to read Happy Place because the fake dating aspect or whatever. So that's like also yeah, yeah, yep. When they were like, oh, this is gonna be fake dating, I was like, period. That's all you have to say. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I said, Beach Read probably is the closest one. I think because I just have to reread them.
Oh,
I'm
time for
just
reading.
gonna have to do a marathon and reread them because I feel
Do
like it's
it.
also been so long. I think
Do
I
it.
read Beach Read and Book Lovers like 2, 3 years ago. Yeah. Whenever Book Lovers first came out is when I read Beach Read and Book Lovers. And then Happy Place I read last year.
Mm, all right. Yeah,
Mm.
I read People We Meet on Vacation like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I do not remember. I don't even know when it came out, to be honest. But I definitely read it after all the hype, which I think all of her books are pretty much still hyped up, probably
For
for a
sure.
reason.
For sure. I definitely think Beach Read is her most hyped book. I feel like. Because it's like been consistently hyped since it came out. And I feel like even with these new releases, it's still like pretty up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've heard either people love or hate book lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can see why people don't like it. I did really like it though. But I could honestly see why people didn't like it.
also books about books, though.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
I think that's everything. I went on multiple tangents.
Oh, true. Man, okay, also for anyone watching, I do apologize about the structure because when Maddie and I are talking, it's just all over the place all the time. Like you literally know you're on this channel if you have been on this channel before, you know that it's all over the place all the time. So you're not surprised. Um, yeah. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. I don't think I have anything else to add. Um, if I do, maybe I'll come back to this live and write it in the comments. You know? um, do you want to do a self plug? You have your new channel.
Yes, I do have my new channel. I just launched it this week. It's Maddie's Bookish Life. And yeah, it's kind of scary to restart. I've had a channel before, if you didn't know. And I just wanted a fresh start. So I don't know, I'm feeling really good about it, and it kind of feels good to just have fresh energy.
Yeah. I love
I
the
miss my old
name.
channel though. Like, it was such a good experience, and it wasn't for any bad reason or anything. I loved having my old channel. I just feel like when I started it was just a different phase of my life, and so I just really wanted to start something new.
Yeah.
And be wild like that.
I mean, if it's working for you, period.
It's a very Maddie thing to
do. Yep. All right, everybody. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Maddie at Maddie's Bookish Life. It's going to be in the description, so you can click that real quick. Subscribe to me if you haven't already and you're watching this video.
Absolutely, you have to.
And yeah, I would love to hear all of your thoughts you have on this book in the comments. We would love it. And if you want to join the Accidentally Yours book club, hello, we didn't even say anything about it. Fable is the place that it's happening. And did I put a link? I did not link it in the description. How very fake of me. I will make sure to link that in the description now. Okay. I hope you all are having a great day, and I will catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, it's ending.